Well, hello. It's time for another exciting episode of Pens in Use. This is the show where I talk about the fountain pen inks I've been using throughout the week. So, let's dive into it. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And hey, I'm going to talk about a situation with a kid, a high school kid, later in this video, because I don't have a whole lot of commentary this week. I'm just curious, if you were a parent, what do you do in that situation? So, let us know down in the comments. Alright, so from left to right, I have my Toes Penkala Goldy, which Goldy is the name of the model, not of the pen, obviously. I have my Waterman Exception. I have the TWSBI Draco, Vintage Aurora 88, Modern Aurora 88, and the Pilot Custom 823, and the Omas Ogiva. And obviously, one of these pens stole its design from the rest of them, and it's just a fake. I'll let you figure out which one. I have a Parker 61 and a Noodler's Konrad. As always, I'm going to be doing my writing in this cognitive surplus seafood flavored journal, which is running toward empty. So let's take a look at the pens. Alright, so my first pen is this Toes Penkala Goldy that comes from Croatia / Yugoslavia. I absolutely adore the finish on this, and now that I've been writing with it, I adore it even more. It is a beautiful pen. And as you can see, the writing is improved. I think I talked about it in the video, but I put its nib on the paper and pressed on it so it could give it a little bit of a stretch, and that's done wonders for it. You got to be careful, because if you do it too far, then it goes boing, and then you've got a sprung nib. But the other thing I've discovered is it does have kind of a really cursive italic character. I don't know if somebody ground it or what, but yeah, it's got to be aimed just right, which I didn't know when I first started writing with it. So we're going to call it the Toes. So that should be uppercase. Pencil Factory of Zagreb. Penkala. Goldy. It may have also been marketed under the name Rex Pen. But anyway, we have a beautiful sample of Parker Quink. And you might notice how well it's writing, as long as I keep it aimed right. See, there I got off the aiming. I'm not doing any pressure or anything here, but it's doing beautifully. So, discovering it had to be aimed right, and, just kind of pressuring the nib a little bit there, that helped an immense amount. So, Parker Quink Washable Blue. I am almost out of this bottle, but don't worry. For those of you who are scared I'll start using a different ink, I have another bottle of this ink left. My next pen is rather exceptional. It is the Waterman Exception. I'm hoping you're getting kind of the purple here. I figured out some of the limitations on my preview screen. So this is the Waterman Exception. It has a fine nib. And the ink in it is Iroshizuku. Ama-iro, which is a wonderful turquoise ink, and I've got several other turquoise inks, so when this bottle runs out, which hopefully will happen before the summer is out, this color is not done, I'll have more. I'm kind of amazed by how many bottles I've already disposed of. You know, mostly the small bottles, but it helps because I've got that sense of forward progress. And of course, I'm also going to I'm focusing on my black inks. I just think I use them a lot, so I'm going to get rid of black inks. So the next pen is not the next pen on my list. So we're going off the list, apparently. My next pen, because I just knew it in my brain, was supposed to be the one that had the black ink in it, but it's not, so we'll go with what's next here. This is a TWSBI Draco. Beautiful pen. Beautiful writer. And of course it has an ink in it that I very much enjoy. It's named after a vegetable I really like. Atramentis, Aubergine. You know, just a very dark purple ink. It's a ink that's dark enough purple you could probably get away with using it for business purposes. Just really fun ink. My next pen is vintage. This is a classic of the pen world. This is an Aurora 88, probably from the late 1940s, early 1950s. I've had several people comment about the faded ebonite here, which is a thing. You know, this part of the of the Aurora 88 was made out of ebonite. This part was made out of celluloid, and one faded, one didn't. This is also ebonite, but it didn't fade because it was under the cap. So we have the Aurora 88. Just a wonder of pen design. We'll put the word vintage in parentheses. And the ink in it is apparently Diamine Damson. I say apparently because the color doesn't seem right, but what do I know? I'm just a boring guy from North Dakota. Diamine Damson is supposed to be kind of a purple ink, so okay, I'm seeing a little purple there, but yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It should be a dark purple ink, kind of like the Atramentis Aubergine, but it's not. Okay, my next pen is another Aurora 88, and a beautiful pen. This is one that you bought me. Because there's no way I could justify this pen on what I make. But all my YouTube money goes toward the channel, whether it's equipment or pens. Just a beautiful pen. And I actually am really glad I bought it because I've fallen in love with the Aurora 88 model, and I would like to get another one in a year or two. And they write well. I mean, who doesn't like that? So this is an Aurora 88 with a broad nib. The ink in it is Stipula, Calamo, whatever that means, Saffron yellow. I love the shading. I have always loved how Aurora nibs have just such amazing feedback. And apparently their gold nibs do too, because this is an incredible pen, and I really, really enjoy it. And like I said, if it weren't for this YouTube thing, this wouldn't have even been on my radar. This is too expensive for me on what I make as a teacher. So Thank you. I appreciate all of you coming by, and I love doing the comments. I love responding to you all. But let's be fair. I love my pens, too, that I've been able to enjoy. This is an expensive pen that I purchased with my own funds. This is a Pilot Custom 823. It probably doesn't look like much. Those of you who've used one know why I'm unscrewing the back. But what an amazing writer. This is an incredible pen, and as soon as I got it, I knew, wow, you do get more when you buy more expensive pens. And, you know, let's be fair, that's up to a certain point. Once you reach that point, you don't get much more. But, yeah, this pen offers a lot. This just feels so good. So the ink in this one is Aurora Black. Because, yeah, remember I talked about using up ink bottles? I used up my whole bottle of Parker Quink Black. Now, there is a strong possibility that once I get through all my bottles of black ink, which, let's just not talk about how many bottles of black ink I have, that I will return to Parker Quink Black. Yeah, I know, years ago I decided that Lamy Black was the best one, but, you know, using that Parker Quink Black, I got a real appreciation for it. This one, I found if I put it in the wrong pen, it just feathers too much. So, yeah, this one is a really black. But, found others I like better. Alright, this is an Omas Ogiva cocktail. Again, another one that I bought myself, even though it's really expensive. But, holy cow, I can't blame myself. This I bought. Omas went out of business, and I just thought, well, this is it. And then I saw this exact pen that was one I had reviewed that one of you had loaned me, and I bought it. And then the prices of these things shot way the heck up. So, yeah, I probably spent too much money, but holy cow, could I have spent a lot too much money. So this is an Omas Ogiva. It's a Omas Ogiva cocktail, because they're naming all these pens after different cocktails. The nib in it is a medium extra flessibile, which is Irish for... Sorry, Italian, not Irish. Italian for extra flexible. I apologize to all of my Italian fans. I know that you have occasionally invaded the channel with comments, and I did not mean that. So, Omas Ogiva cocktail medium extra flessibile, which is Italian, not Irish. And the ink in it is Iroshizuku, which is also not Irish, Fuyu-gaki. Kind of a fun dark orange color. Lately I've been trying to use up my Iroshizuku inks just because they're in kind of the smallest bottles, so they're easy targets and they're easy victories. And I've been really good, and I don't mean really good, I mean honestly good, about not buying any more inks. I've been doing great with that, because I haven't bought any in a few years. I've been doing really well. So I'm not a lost cause yet. This pen, Parker 61, and... yeah, it's a rainbow edition. But I think it must have skipped the notice of the person who sold it to me, because those are usually a lot more expensive because they have several metals. But You know, usually they're more coppery metals and whatever, and it's just more obvious. I think, honestly, the person that sold it to me just didn't notice. So this is a Parker. Okay, honestly, I didn't notice either till I got home, but whatever. So it's a Parker 61. We have some Pelikan 4001 Royal Blue. This is a nice safe ink, kind of like Parker Quink Washable Blue. I'm going to be doing a video, I don't know when, but hopefully this month. I've got a couple of videos kind of in the works. But I want to compare some of these washable blues with each other, and I think that'll be kind of fun. I'm going to destroy a whole t-shirt to do it, so hey, what the hey? My last pen is one that set aside for many years because I love how it looks and I absolutely hate the nib. This is a Noodler's Konrad. Has the Forbidden City finish, and I think it's beautiful. I wanted this pen because of its finish. And then I didn't write with it very much. So last year I replaced its nib with a nib from a pen that just absolutely does not work. Match made in heaven. Still can't get that pen where this nib doesn't work to work with anything. But meanwhile, this is a Stipula T-Flex nib. And it works beautifully in this pen. It works beautifully in the other pen I've got one of these in too, because one of you sent me an... Or did I buy it? I can't remember anymore. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I've got another T-Flex nib that I bought, or was given, and in a cheap Chinese pen that works beautifully. So we have the Noodlers, Konrad. Now, isn't that nice looking? With T-Flex. And the ink in it is Iroshizuku. Because I'm trying to use it up. Tsuyu-kusa, which is a ink I honestly don't think I've used very much. The name rang no bells to me when I put it in this pen, but you know, it's just a very nice blue. And wow, if I could get this out of the Stipula pen that this nib is supposed to be in, I'd be one happy camper, because I love the feel of that pen in my hand. I love the looks of the pen. And I paid too much for it, but you know, in this cheap little Noodler's Konrad, the nib actually takes off, so what you gonna do? Alright, so obviously I need a haircut real bad. I was gonna make an appointment this week, and it just, you know, one thing led to another, and all of a sudden it's Thursday, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's closed on Friday, because my barber has cut back her hours, and she does not work on Fridays, so gonna have to make an appointment. I'm gonna have to make a point of making an appointment right away on Monday. But anyway, this is late. I have no excuse for it. Friday I just got busy, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's really late. And yeah, it was late. So I just thought, well, I'll get there when I get there. And it was. And then Saturday I spent some time doing a video call with a person in, let's not be too specific, but Asia. So it was kind of fun talking to somebody from the future, because of course Asia was ahead of us, time zone wise. And so it leads me to Sunday, and of course I was busy all day, and then it's evening, as you can see there. So I'm finally getting around to pens in use. It's a little after 8, but what the hey? Let's talk pens. So we just did. So I'm going to share an article here. This is really the only thing I have for today. I am going to be sharing, I'm not sure when it's going to come out. I want to say late tonight. I am going to share a driving video where we're going to take you through a whiteout, but you know, part of the video is going to be verging on the ridiculous, and part of it's going to be like very serious. So I don't know. I'm going to share it anyway, and who knows? Maybe I'll lose some subscribers. Haven't been making much money on YouTube lately, anyway. So what the heck? Let's lose some subscribers. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about an article I read. It came from a magazine that I get basically because I pay the electric bills for an organization that's in a rural county to the north. Not with my personal funds, of course, but you know, I do pay their electric bills. I do the bookkeeping for them and so on. Anyway, this kid is a student. I know the magazine article talks about where he lives and everything, gives him very identifying information, but I just, you know, my policy is to keep kids off of this channel. I'm going to make a partial exception here because he got this publicity. This kid is a foreign exchange student. He's from Ukraine, and he lives, let's just say, in a small town in southwestern North Dakota. I won't tell you which town. It's not my town, so, you know, don't use that to figure out where he lives. But anyway, this kid lives in southwestern North Dakota, and I was just touched by his story because I had never thought about foreign exchange students from Ukraine and what they felt in February when the Russians just decided to roll over their country. And what happens now? So I'm just going to show you part of that article here. Right, so here is the article. I kind of want to hide identifying information, so I'm going to cover up a couple of parts of the article. But anyway, this is the kid. He was a foreign exchange student in one of the schools, not mine, but here in southwest North Dakota this year. And in February, holy cow. You know, and you look at this, but the world's adversities have impacted the 16-year-old like few others. On February 24th, Dima's home country of Ukraine was invaded by Russia. I basically didn't know that until the 25th. One of my teachers over in here in the U.S. told me Russia invaded Ukraine. She asked me about it. I said, no, I didn't know that, he says. He shifts slightly in his chair, sighs. Well, he's basically done. Broken, he says. It was just terrible. So now he navigates staying in communication with his parents, who are safe for now after leaving their eastern Ukrainian home, where an undetonated bomb rests inside their 4-story apartment building. If it detonates, yeah, it's gone, he says of his home. His school in Ukraine has already been destroyed. They're hoping for the best, he says of his parents. It is a great relief for my parents that I am in the United States during war in Ukraine. He is their only child. His mother was working as a human resources inspector for an ambulance station, and his father sold parts in an agricultural equipment shop in a region where tractors were common, not military tanks. So, you know, his parents can't leave Ukraine, especially his father, because he's of military age. His parents and his grandmother are renting a room in western Ukraine, while their hometown, which I'll just omit the name, is a Russian target. One YouTube video of the Agricultural Committee of 5,000 shows some houses in rubble. And, yeah, I just can't imagine just being in the U.S. during that. So, I'll hide the rest of the article because it definitely identifies the community here. But he's staying in a small town here in southwestern North Dakota. Not mine, like I said. But his host family is willing to keep him for another year. The principal of the high school has been very helpful. He actually hopes to become a doctor. He played basketball and golf at the high school, did Science Olympia and Ec Olympics. The school actually competed, and he was part of it in a cybersecurity tournament. And that's what he wants to do again. He asked about harder maths. They talked about pre-calculus. I like this sentence. And he's looking forward to more math classes. And they're working to get at least his mother here to the United States. But I just can't help but think, how does it feel to be a parent? And your kid, you know he's safer. But, you know, what do? He's safer here, yet you love your kid, you want him near you. I never thought about it. You know, the number of kids who must have come from Ukraine to be foreign exchange students here in the United States. So there were 3 in North Dakota. One of them was taken back home. The other one is still here in North Dakota, somewhere in the eastern part of the state. And what a hard spot as a parent or a kid, because I'm sure he feels the need to be over there and doing something for his own country. And yeah, just a very hard spot. And so I thought this would be just kind of worth sharing. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what the right answer is there. You know, I guess I think if I was his father, I'd want him to stay somewhere safe. You know, for all the problems the United States has, I'd say it's safer than Ukraine right now. If I was that kid, there would be that competing, I want to be safe, and then also, I want to be doing something for my country. You know, I hope by the time he finishes this coming year of school that the situation is settled somehow. I don't know if it will be. I'm no expert on that. I can't give you an intelligent comment on that, but I hope so. For the sake of all the people in Ukraine, and honestly for all the parents of these young soldiers from Russia, I hope it's settled by then. There is a time and a place for military action, but I'm not a fan of war, and I'm definitely not a fan of just taking over territory because you're stronger, and that includes when my own country has done it. So, anyway, I hope that everything is in a better place this coming spring when, you know, he'll finish his senior year of high school. So, yeah, I don't have a whole lot today. I'm gonna put out a driving video. I'll just put it out maybe late tonight or something, I don't know, or early tomorrow morning. It was supposed to be last week, and I had a big technical issue, and I still can't figure it out. And the way I solved it is I redid the video. It just would not compile. It would just give me errors. And what I had done is I recorded the audio first and then slapped the video in. So I redid it. I slapped the video in and then recorded the audio, and poof, it worked. So, whatever. I don't get it, but the video is up, made, and so I'll put it up maybe tomorrow morning, because you were supposed to get it last week. So you're going to get a bunch of Wasky Squirrel videos right in a row here. And then I'm hoping to do a book video tomorrow afternoon about a book called Forget the Alamo. So anyway, this shouldn't have been late, but it was. But everything else, whatever, I'm not feeling as guilty about that. But this should have been on time. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching. And I'm just curious if you would comment down below. What would you do if this is your kid stuck in America while you're in Ukraine? Do you want the kid back home? Do you want him here? And the more I think about it, the more I realize that that's actually a very complicated question, and there's a lot more to think about than at first it appears. So, yeah, let us know down in the comments. So I want to thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.